Hey everybody. Okay, so some of you may know that I have moved to Buffalo, Niagara Falls area, and I bought a little tiny shack, as I call it, in a cute little neighborhood. And it is a community of African Americans, and I'm very happy here, and I am getting to know everyone here. So I want to show you something. I spoke to one of my neighbors. This is my garbage bin. I had my basement cleared out. So I spoke to one of my neighbors. He is getting his master's in education. So we quickly became acquaintances and friends. And he was telling me about his son. And do you see this basketball hoop right here? Okay, so when Kyle came out here, he saw the basketball hoop and he basically said that he would like to play basketball, and if I could meet the neighbors and see if he could play basketball. And I said, well, I don't think that's a good idea because we don't know them yet, so let's just chill out and wait and see. Anyway, come to find out that basketball hoop belongs to my neighbor who is getting his master's in education, and his son plays there. So we discussed it and we're like, oh yeah, let him play, get him off the video games, get him outside. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying this, I'm going into the shade because it is 95 degrees out here today. So the reason why I'm saying this is because he mentioned to me that he takes, well, actually his mother, I sat on the porch with his mom this morning and had coffee, and she said that her son, which is this gentleman, takes the neighborhood kids to the park a few ways down the road, and he does drills with them and teaches them basketball, etc., etc. And I was like, in this heat? He said, yeah. There are no community centers out here. Everything's closed up and there's nothing for them to do. So this is just the kind of community that it is. So, he was telling me about it. I was like, hey, so I'm coming back in August. Can Kyle kind of hang out with you guys? He's like, yeah, sure. I said, so what do? You just take them out to the park? And he said, I do drills with them. He told me the whole rigmarole. So I said, so who's funding you? Like, I said, is the city funding you? Are you doing? He says, no, I just do this on my own. I said, for free? He said, yeah. I was like, wow. Bing, 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 bing. So I said, I'm going to fund you. So I'm funding him through Venmo, $500, to make sure those boys have some shirts, some cold water, some good basketballs while they're out there playing and learning. And I said, well, why won't the city fund you, give you a space or give you some money to start something? He said, well, they just hired 10 new police officers. No disrespect to the police officers, because we do need police officers, I guess, to, do what they do. Not that other stuff they do, but the other stuff they do to, keep the community safe, I guess. So, yeah. So this is where we are at in our community, where if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. I've always been of the mindset of I do not wait for the education system to educate my children. Um, if there's something you need, you make it happen yourself within your community, within your own means. And if we had more brothers out here like this, doing this, we would not need more police officers in the street. So I'm saying that to say, um, there's a lot going on now. Everybody's out in the street protesting, screaming, praying, crying, doing all these kind of things. Black Lives Matter, I believe in that too. But I also believe that Black people need to get together and get off their butts and do for their own community without asking for anything. Okay? Take that money you have, instead of buying whatever it is you buy that will diminish, put it into your community, put it into your children, put it into your kids. And this is a brother who is doing that, and I fund that and I support that. And I would like to invite you to support me as I support him. So he has a Venmo, and that is where I'm sending my money. And I'll let him know, please use my donation to buy waters and shirts and anything these kids need. And, get yourself a little something because of the work you're doing, because you should be paid for this kind of work. So if you don't feel comfortable sending Venmo, we send Venmo for everything, right? We know Venmo. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then maybe you could, I'll see if I can get his address and I'll send you his address and you could Amazon a package of water, Amazon some basketballs, Amazon some cool t-shirts. I don't know. But there comes a time where we have to just say, you know what? We're going to do for ourselves. We're going to fund ourselves. We're not going to ask anybody for anything in the system. We do it through our own communities. Mothers, fathers, brothers, uncles, sisters, friends, white, black, Asian. I don't care what you are. Money is green. Green is green. So if you got some green and you would like to support this brother who is supporting these young black children who live in a community where everything is shut down, and it's not because of COVID, okay? We're talking about a whole different kind of virus that flows through different communities. So that's all I want to say. As I stand under the shade of the tree of my new little shack, I call it my little shack in the hood. That's right. And let me just say one more thing. Don't get it twisted. Just because people live in the hood does not mean they are unsafe. I have met all my neighbors. They are all wonderful. They are lovely, educated people who take care of each other. And this is a perfect example of this young man who is going to school to get his master's to teach children. But even before he has his master's, he's out here in the burning hot sun running drills with kids for free. So, as I said before, I put my money on that. So join me and put your money on that. And that is how we can do something productive for a community that needs it and children that need it. Because yes, although the system will put more money into policing communities, we can police our community with our money and our efforts and our talents. So the last thing I'm going to say is this is my lot. It's my private lot. Thank you, God, for giving me the resources. That's my little shack in the hood. Yes. Only thing I don't like is I got to mow it all the time. That's a nuisance, but it is what it is. So my goal before COVID hit was to turn this into a community garden for children to come and garden, because there's a bunch of children that live right down the road. But with COVID, that's not going to happen right now. So here's an opportunity for me to, I guess, support another endeavor of someone else until COVID leaves us and people can gather in large groups. But anyway, so that's all I'm going to say. If you listen to the end of this message, I thank you. So I will be sending another link at some point with this brother's information on Venmo, and I hope you can support this brother. And I will also, in August, be sending some videos of the kids actually playing out there with this brother. So thank you, and stay cool, everybody, and stay safe and be well. I'm standing, nobody's around here but the trees. That's why I don't have my mask on. All right. Peace out, y'all.